Hello and welcome to Where Do We Begin podcast. I'm Denver Grainger-Barras, a 2020 draft hopeful, and I had an amazing sit down with the boys from Where Do We Begin today regarding everything life and everything footy.
Thanks for that, Denver. I'm still a bit excited for everybody to listen to this next little bonus episode. Denver's one of the brightest talents in the upcoming 2020 draft, and in my opinion, the best talent. And also thanks to Jackson. Jackson's jumped on again after a couple of weeks away with Harper unavailable. So thanks so much for doing that, mate. It was great fun to finally do a podcast together. Now, we'd like to apologise for the audio. We had a few issues with the internet connection and the Zoom, but we just wanted to get it out to you. So now, with all that said, I think it's time to dive in. So welcome to a special bonus episode of Where Do We Begin? Our special guest today is a 195 centimetre, 78 kilo key position player. He's plays for Swan districts in the WAFL and has represented Western Australia at junior level. Denver Grainger-Barras. How are you today, Denver?
Good, thank you, boys. Thank you for having me on.
No problem, mate. So we're just going to have a quick chat. Obviously, the draft is pretty soon for you, so get to know you more on a surface level, not in terms of footy. So how's your 2020 been?
It's been just as much a whirlwind as everyone else's, I reckon. Been extremely blessed over here in WA, so I've been playing a little bit of footy and working a lot at Bunnings, so it's been a bit of a different year. So I started at Bunnings about a week before COVID actually struck, so I'm super blessed in that position. And
essential worker, mate.
Exactly.
Essential worker. I now know an essential worker, mate. That is massive. So
Exactly.
What was it like working at Bunnings, mate? What department were you in?
I was in just like replay, just stocking the shelves, and at the start at least I was replenishment. With all the sales going crazy because everyone was getting out to do home jobs, it left plenty of work for a young and a new person in the system like me. So I loved it there, and they gave me heaps of opportunity.
Any Employee of the Month awards for you or not?
Not really. They don't really do that, but I'm sure if there was a bit of a Employee of the Month, I'd be up in the books for sure.
Now, so Denver, just say I'm a lucky fan of a club that has managed to draft you. I want to know a little bit about the player you are. So tell us what position you play.
I am, I guess you can sort of say I'm a backman at heart. So I like playing fullback, halfback, anywhere in the back line. I've been there for the last couple of years of my football. I like to intercept and try and impact through the air. I like to take a good big clunk. So hopefully if I get the opportunity at whoever's club it may be, I can take Mark of the Year a couple of years in a row or something of the sort.
Mate, you remind me of myself, except I'm running around in the Rezzies and you're an AFL draft prospect. But apart from that, we're the same, I reckon. But would I be correct in saying, though, you also can play a little bit of key forward? You recently in a West Australian game, after probably how many kicks did you have in the first half? Probably 30 off half back. You then switched to forward in the second half and kicked 2 goals.
Yeah, it was definitely a big change up at half time. Sass, the coach of the WA Gold, said, we're going to swing you forward to see how you sort of go up there. And I loved it. I relished the opportunity, and I did all right with it. I didn't do too much in the third quarter. I was sort of running around like a headless chook, trying to find the footy, calling for it in some horrible areas. So I think I switched on and sort of gained my feet in the second quarter of the second half, and ended up kicking 2 goals. So I was chuffed. One was a pretty selfish snap, which happened to just bend through, and the other one was a nice little cheeky set shot. So yeah, I was happy with my forward run.
Well, that's actually not what I heard. My sources actually told me, Denver, that the coach of the other team came over and said, mate, Denver's dominating us on the back line. This is a trial game. We're meant to show off the players. Do you mind swinging him forward to give our forward line a chance?
Maybe. It might have been the way. Well, we actually went down by 55 points the week prior. So maybe our coach said we need to throw Denver forward to try and kick some goals, because we ended up winning by 55 points the next week. So it's a huge turnaround.
Yeah, not a bad swing. So who do you model your game on? So in the AFL, what player would be closest to you?
In today's game, I think I couldn't look past one of the best defenders in the comp in Dylan Grimes. I reckon I used to say as a kid and a couple of years ago, I want to try and model my game off a McGovern/Rance sort of style defender. And I think in today's game, there's no better mould than a Dylan Grimes. He gets put on the most influential forward for the opposition, but still tries to harness his game and intercept. So I reckon if I could be like any player in the AFL, I'd love to be like Grimes.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned Jeremy McGovern because you also had some comparisons to him, and if I'm correct, you're a West Coast Eagles supporter. I guess how do you deal with that, and how does that make you feel? It'd be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think as a kid, I was in love with Will Schofield, who was one of the I guess more famous backmen at the Eagles.
Mate, I had $1 on Will Schofield for the 2018 Norm Smith medal, and after his shut down roll of De Goey, he was paying like $500 or something. I thought I was a chance.
Oh, he was sneaky chance. He got the boot, didn't he? Oh no, did he play?
Yeah, Schofield played on De Goey in the 2018 grand final.
That's right, in the 2018 GF. That's right.
Yeah, can we not mention that as much? Sorry, I'm a big Collingwood fan, so can we not mention that game?
Let's keep talking about it. In terms of drawing comparison with McGovern, it was an honour because I'd always loved watching him play and loved watching him float off and taking the big clunk. Normally the most crucial time of the game, and normally when he was deepest. So yeah, to get that sort of comparison, I think it was about a year ago when I first got compared to him. It was it was a huge honour.
So in WA, you obviously play in the WAFL, which is against senior players, and here in Victoria, we have the TAC Cup, which is 18-year-olds realistically playing against 18-year-olds. How do you think that prepares you to play in the AFL?
Yeah, I think it'd be honestly crucial. I think it's something that a lot of clubs will sort of ask of for 18-year-olds in the future years. I know it's a bit of a frowned upon thing to have the 18-year-olds play, especially draft hopefuls, play against the bigger men because it's I guess you're more susceptible to injury, given your body's not as used to such bigger contact. So, I think it was a blessing. I think it was an absolute blessing. I think it sort of arms you with the information of what it's going to be like at a higher level. In WA, it's the closest level to AFL that you can get. So, I think it's a huge contributor as to why I think people can transition from WAFL into AFL list rather seamlessly. So, no, I'm definitely glad that I played league this year, and I hope it holds me in good stead.
Now, I've got a story. I want you to fill in the rest. So it's, I think Logan McDonald's putting on an absolute clinic. He's kicked 3 goals in the first half. He's just, everybody's screaming, this is why he's the number 1 pick. And then I think I'll let you fill in the rest. Thanks, Denver. I think you had a pretty handy second half.
Logan did. He started off the first half amazingly, and it was a huge game, actually. A lot of people don't know the actual importance of that game for Perth. So Perth had a 20-year finals drought, so they hadn't made finals for 20 years. And they had 2 games left, and one was against Swan Districts, who were third last on the ladder, and the other was against South Freo, who were top of the ladder. South Freo, who were the eventual premiers, it was pretty certain that Perth wouldn't be able to roll over South, so it was almost like a bit of a write-off game that they were going to roll over us and they'd have their last finals push. So it was a huge game. There was plenty of talk about it, but at halftime I got put on Logan after he was dominating us up forward. He kicked 3 goals, 2 in the first half, and then I was lucky enough with some bad kicks on his teammate's part and to I guess keep him under wraps, you could sort of say. And, he didn't kick another goal, and we went on to win that game and almost put away Perth's finals chances, but they ended up beating South Freo the next week and making finals anyway. So, but it was still a good game on both of our parts.
That's really good to hear. I love draft prospects backing each other up, really. But what aspect are you most excited about going into the AFL?
I like the big stage mentality of everything. I like the big crowds, the pressure. I've always sort of been very calm under pressure, and the idea of being at the highest level against the best and trying to fight my way to be the best. It's definitely it's a pressure I really welcome. So I think that's sort of one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to is the big stage where I'm versing the best and it doesn't get any harder. So yeah, definitely.
I love that, mate. I really love a quote that you said that you want to be the best player in the AFL, which is something that I think is awesome because I feel like in American sports, it's such a normal thing. The players go out, they say, yeah, I'm the best player, whereas in Australia, athletes don't necessarily say that as much. And I think it's a really good, confident attitude to have. So I'd love to know, though, what are you going to do to become the best player in the AFL?
Yeah, I think one thing that's bit, I guess you could sort of say I'm a bit slept on in some regard, is my work ethic and my desire to be the best. I think it's one of the biggest things is wanting to challenge yourself to try and, match it with the best and be better than the best. So, my desire to want to win constantly, I absolutely hate losing. So my desire to win is definitely a pushing factor as to why I want to challenge myself and become the best player and person that I can.
So obviously 2020 would have been a lot of footy when it came back. But what interest do you have off the field?
So at the moment, other than working, I was just delving into the four-wheel driving world. So I own a big 2000 TD42T Patrol,
Beauty.
which I've put plenty of work into this year.
Just quickly before you continue, Denver, are you one of those people that has the big ute, but it hasn't seen a dirt road yet? Or you?
No, I haven't. Actually, funny enough, I have the big ute. So I went from a wagon to a ute, and I took the ute out yesterday to the power lines over in here in Perth, which just has some of the forward driving tracks. And definitely, I did plenty of damage. I ended up doing the clutch on the way home, so I had to push it all the way to the way home. And it's definitely seen the dirty side of the world, that's for sure. So that's one of my main interests. I love music. I get involved in that. And then, I just like learning heaps of things, whether it's about cars or even music or it's about life in general. So I'm a pretty avid learner.
Man, that's awesome to hear. Sounds like you have awesome balance on and off the field, which is, in my opinion, which to be honest doesn't mean much, is important to succeed. Now, Jackson, do we want to get started on some fast questions for Denver?
Yeah, let's go ahead. So number one, 3 things you would take if you were alone on a desert island.
Oh, this is one of the ones with the stipulations, no like boat or anything like that. I would take a massive rainwater tank. I would take a big tent, and then I'd take my patrol.
Do a bit of 4-wheel driving?
You're going to have to tear up the track.
Okay, now we got the second one, which is, what is your favourite holiday spot?
I just got back from up north in WA, so I went to Ledbury and Geraldton and Kalbarri. So I'd say out of all of them, June or Geraldton over here, favourite holiday spot.
Yeah, beautiful spot. Not enough people get up there, do they? Especially from down here in Victoria.
No, definitely not. You guys are a bit longer of a drive than even us.
Yeah, exactly. Number 3, do you have a secret talent?
It's not much of a secret thing. I try to keep it a secret, but I got told to bring it out a bit more. I guess my music is a little bit. I dabble on the piano a little bit. I get the guitar around, but not a singer, that's for sure. But I think you could almost call it a secret, not so secret talent.
Yeah, that's beautiful, mate. Now, this is probably the hardest of the fast questions we have. So it's a 2021 Brownlow. Who are you taking, your lovely girlfriend or your mum?
Oh, that's crucial. That's crucial. I think I might just give up my seat and let both of them go and watch.
Oh, that is nice.
Trying to pick between those two, I definitely end up in the doghouse no matter what.
Last one. Do you have any superstitions before you go onto the field, or just in general?
I'm not really superstitions-wise. I used to be a big underwear kind of bloke. Had to wear the same underwear, so I give it a wash. But if I didn't have them, even whether they were not done in the wash, it didn't matter. I had to wear them. But that sort of grew out. I'm not really superstition. I like pretty chill. I like listening to certain types of music and mellow out. But no, not really in terms of superstitions, no.
Oh, that's good to hear, mate. And I'd just like to say, so for any fans of the club that gets Denver, he's an absolutely great bloke. I swear he hasn't paid me $10 to say this, but seriously, he has no affiliation with us whatsoever, but he has taken out 10 minutes of his time and probably the busiest week of his life to help us out and jump on the podcast, mate. So seriously, I can't put into words how much we appreciate this. You're such a great bloke, and good luck with the draft.
Thank you so much, boys. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time as well. Thanks.
Wow, how good was that? Hey, Denver is such a great guy to talk to, so thank you so much. I truly meant everything I said. I really appreciate that you managed to find the time to jump on, and thanks again to Jackson. I will be back with a full episode on Monday, so make sure you stick out for that. It's an absolute cracker. And of course, you can find us on Facebook at Where Do We Begin? You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at WDWBpod. That's WDWBpod, and would really appreciate if you could recommend to all your friends. Thanks so much.